After I graduated from high school in 87 and decided that I just wanted to get away and go to LA. Now I'm from Ohio and I decided to go way to LA just to get away from everybody. Hop on a plane, go out there to go to college. And when I got to the airport in LA, and I had never experienced anything like that before because I had never traveled outside of the state of Ohio. And to be in a big airport, just the shock, the culture shock, everything. I was shocked. Well, guess what? Guess who else is shocked? False prophets and teachers and anyone teaching false mess, they're all shocked. Because guess what? It's been 10 months now. 10 months since the election. And they are shocked so much that they have started to resorting to things. For example, we've talked about him, crazy Pastor Greg Locke. I hate to even use the name pastor for someone like that because that's not a pastor. But Greg Locke was on a show along with someone else, this self-appointed apostle. And that's a whole nother subject about apostles. We'll have to talk about that down the road too. But he threatened violence as far as, because they're so frustrated that their prophecies have not come to pass. He's threatened political violence. He's threatened violence. And that's what they're doing. If you notice, a lot of them, they're making threats of all types of sort, revolutionary type threats. You know, we're getting ready to come up against all of this hateful wrongdoings and all of that. You know, and I thought of, and I put this down on my voice memo. As I tell you, I always put voice memos down just as stuff comes to me. And I was just thinking about how it's frustrating how the world operates. I mean, it's frustrating how people conduct themselves very un-Christ-like. It's very frustrating. But at the same time, for me, and I don't know many of you as well, it's sad. And that's what I told my oldest son this about. We were just talking about where he was frustrated with some of the people his age and how they're acting and stuff. I said, you know, they're lost. They're lost. That's the bottom line. They are lost. And it's very sad. And we have to continue to pray for them and understand that Jesus still loves them despite what they're doing and how they're acting. And that's the attitude we should have, a heart of compassion. We should not have hatefulness in us and wanting some type of major revenge on people because they're not saved. A lot of them, they're not saved. They're worldly. They're living for the world. And here we are, many of these people, these false teachers and all of this stuff, because things didn't go as planned. They're threatening because they felt like Trump needs to be in. Well, I made the prediction here. I told you, New Year's Eve, we're having a party. I already told you, for those of you that are not aware, I'm having a party of false prophet failure for New Year's Eve because once again, because they've been thumbing their noses up at God, thumbing their noses up at other believers and making like it's just a matter of time. No, it's a matter of time for them because they're up against the clock, as I told you. God's judgment has already come upon many of them and is coming because they are misusing his name and misleading people. And people, they need to be called out. There's even threats from their followers. I get these threats all the time from their followers, you know, with comments or messages. And some of them I let you guys, I'll leave it in there to see. But a lot of times I'll get rid of it or so because you're not going to come and just totally disrespect me and talk crazy. And I'll get rid of that because we don't want that stuff on this channel as far as this craziness. But we do call it out. And these false teachers, they're in so much shock because it's 10 months now and counting. And I can't wait till it gets to 2021. What's the end of it? What's going to be the excuse then? Because they've utilized The rest were going to happen back in February, March, January. Oh, this is getting ready to happen next. This is, okay, June. Then you had July. And you have all of this. Then it was into September. And now it's all the way. Now they're so vague with their times. Now it's by the end of the year. They ain't put a specific date on a lot of it now. It's by the end of the year. That's what they're doing. And the end of the year is coming to a close. God will, I pray that God allows me to continue to live many more days so that I can see it. Because these people need to be exposed. All of them. And they need to be called out. Because it is enough. I'm so sick of it with some of the stuff that they're saying and all of the violence and how that they call themselves. We supposed to be fishers of men. We supposed to be fishing for souls. We supposed to be sharing the gospel in love. How is anybody ever going to come to Christ when all you talk about is violence towards others that are unsaved or don't agree with you? No one is going to come to the gospel like that. That's not how Jesus handled things. And some of these people, like I said, they're all self-appointed. Nobody's called. God hasn't called them. They haven't been called. They just pop up. I'm apostle such and such. Oh, I'm pastor, whatever. You just decided to be a pastor. But you're not anointed. And God's hand is not upon you. And anybody, as I mentioned a lot of times when I comment on other people's stuff, anyone, because God's judgment is upon the false prophets and any teacher, but his hand is upon anyone that's been revealed, that he has revealed the truth to, and you continue to follow them. You continue to keep playing with God like that. You continue to keep teaching false messages like that. Just wait. God is not mocked. He will have his day. You will have your day in court with him. And there's nothing to play with. So that's all I want to get this point across, is that they going 10 months, is almost a year to the election. They are in so much shock. They are frazzled. They are just so disheartened. Some of the followers of them and stuff, they feel like, oh, it's all over. What did Jesus say about, he talked about the birds don't have to worry about food. That if they don't have to worry about food and being taken care of, how much more is he going to take care of you? I'm not worried about everything crashing around all around me, because I know that if I'm a child of God and he's got the whole world in his hand, as the old children's song, in his hands, I know that I'm safe and secure in the arms of the Lord, and he will provide and take care of me no matter what. And you should too as well. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Trust in him. He'll take care. You don't have to worry about everything chaos and crumbling. He's got us. He's got our back. He's still in control. He hasn't lost it. He's still in control. So we'll continue to talk about the issues, calling out some of these people that are out here with the nonsense. We'll continue to expose Satan and his devices, as I always say, and talk about the issues the church run away from. My name is Maurice Braxton. Evangelism for God is the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing, coming along for the journey, and we'll continue to talk. But until the next video, hit like, subscribe, and we'll talk again. Take care. God bless.